today we're mostly talking about analytics. I don't know if that's going to take up the full hour, but we're going to be talking about the old version, the UA, Universal Analytics type of property, since that's what we've just recently moved from. Um, and we just want to talk about the data that you might want to export. Um, we might have a discussion amongst everybody on, why we think it's important, because I know that was a question that was posed before, where it was just like, why do we want to hold on to this historical type data? But we're first going to talk about um, some reports, and I'm pulling these up from Jan Dye. She graciously shared these with me so that we could talk about them today. This is to give us an idea of what she was sharing with her board, and like a snapshot of what was important for them to capture. So, Jan, I was going to just start kind of going over the reports and what they mean, and then how to build them. Do you want to talk about any of the importance of it or anything about the reports before I jump into that?
I was just going to mention, oh, first of all, I have a question on a completely different topic. Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
It's it's the Twitter accounts, the LWV Twitter accounts that are showing up. Nothing to see here yet. I noticed ours was doing that, and then LWVC was doing that. And when I put it in, I have it in the
Like as a feed?
side in the sidebar.
Okay.
But don't look at mine because I already took it off of there.
I,
You can see it on LWV South Carolina because I was
okay.
looking at that web page and it was doing the same thing. So I'm wondering what's going on with Twitter and League of Women Voters.
Okay.
Have they banned us or something?
Um, I haven't heard of any issue yet. I wonder if it's something to do with the feed by Twitter. Um, it's gonna take a second. There we go.
Nothing to see here yet. That's what all of the three that I looked at, LWV California, our particular Twitter account, and South Carolina, all looked like that.
Let's just quickly test that out. I'm gonna try embedding a non LWV page. Let's just see if I can grab one from my, here we go. I probably should just copy link address, or actually, sorry, I'm trying to think of how to do that. Yes, copy link address, and then we have documentation on it. Let's see, social,
Good to
we have
embed.
MyLO.
Good to use the embed.
Don't remember which documentation it was, but yeah, it's like developers.twitter.com or something. And I just jump over to documentation, see if I can find it.
Mine is failing
There we go.
too. I didn't realize it.
Yeah, I didn't realize it either. It could very well be something coming from Twitter. Yeah. So let's test it out. Here we go. Publish.twitter.com. Enter a Twitter URL. That's what I have copied. And we want an embedded timeline, just like we have there. Yeah, so it looks like it may not be working.
Oh, it's all of Twitter.
Um, yeah, I'm not sure. I wouldn't, it's hard with this, because it doesn't give us a date, I would be more keen to trust a more up-to-date version of whatever help is being provided, because I wouldn't be surprised if there were recent changes. But us testing it out at least shows us it may be beyond us.
Uh-huh.
But
So
what was the link before that that you just went, when you went to this page, there was a link ahead of that that said, help, if you go back to where
here,
you,
help with Twitter buttons.
oh, before that.
When I Googled,
Yeah, see, how to fix Twitter embeds not working on your website. What is that? Right
so
above
it
it.
says deactivate your plugins, but that is not really an option for us.
But underneath that, you think that that one is the same as the one at the top?
Oh, this one?
No, the second there.
This one here. Yeah, whatever this is reading is being taken from here, but it's saying to
Okay.
temporarily deactivate the plugins, and we don't have that option. So what I also wanted to try is, if the embedded timeline isn't working, let's see if maybe, let's try this, a tweet. So individual tweets are still embedding, but it looks like the timeline may have an issue there. And I don't know if it's a temporary thing, but it doesn't look like anything is too recent. This is the most recent, but I'm not sure. I can take a look at this on the side. It's giving us the same advice, where disabling the plugins is a WordPress site type option.
Mm.
But I'm gonna pull this over so I can check that out some more. Yeah, that's a little annoying, because there's not much that we can do if this is the case. But at least the individual tweets can still be embedded, and then you can always still put a button like the Twitter logo and have your page link there too. And just the same as if you add your social media to your footer as well. So you'll have many bases covered. But thank you for bringing that up, Jan, because that is probably something that most folks aren't aware of, because I certainly wasn't either. And yeah, if you want to do any of those workarounds, you'll be able to.
Okay, good. At first I thought it was just us, and then I started seeing it on other LWV sites, and I thought, oh no, they've banned us or something. But
I'm glad it's not that, but definitely not glad that it's just not working for everybody.
okay. All right, so let's talk about the reports that that you're seeing in front of you right now. One of them is popular pages by page views. And I found that this got a lot of interest because it's our board leaders who write the articles that we're talking about. Oh, this is pages. I'm sorry.
Oh, do you want me to start with was it the
Article?
audience overview? No.
Okay, well, we can.
I can't remember. These were the only three reports.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay,
Let
well,
me make sure.
there
No,
was
I'm
one
sorry. There is
article.
one more. There we go. Okay.
Okay. Popular articles by page view. So the reason we thought this was important is because our leaders write the articles to place on our website, and it's nice positive feedback when they can see that their article is maybe number one or number two, or how many hits it got. So you can see that, for instance, the second one down there, it says Lunch with League report. Okay, so that's a report of what happened at our Lunch with League in April. And it got 60 hits. People read that. So that's nice to see. the top one is the Great American Write-In, which is interesting because that was not our event. It was just an article talking about this is a sister organization. They're called Women For, and they were doing the Great American Write-In in Santa Ana, but they didn't ever update their website
Uh,
for it. So people were looking for it. A lot of people were looking for it, and also the only place they could find anything about it was on our website, where we were saying, oh, okay, here it's going to happen here, and it's America, it's Women For, and this is what happens there, and which is, which was mainly stuff that they provided us.
mhm.
But it was interesting because look at how many hits it got, and people were looking for it and couldn't find it on their website, so they found it on our website.
Yeah, and may have like swayed some people over that may not have traveled to your site before.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
worked out in your favor.
So anyway, it's nice feedback for the people that are writing these articles, and I don't know if it works the same way in any of your leagues, but our leaders, provide me with the information, and then I put it up on the website,
I think,
what it is that they write.
yeah, that's a great way to give feedback immediately, or it's usually going to be positive because you're just seeing the page views and seeing, the good traffic that you're getting. So
Yeah,
that's a nice morale boost.
yeah, yeah.
Um, so I can pop over to our analytics. Thanks, Jan. I'll probably pop in with you on each report if you want to just kind of give
Okay, sure.
a talk
Yeah,
about
yeah,
each one. Okay,
yeah. Let's go ahead and look at that then.
awesome. So let me actually move this one over. So this was based on page views. So under behavior, and remember again, I'm looking at a UA property. We'll be able to tell it's a UA by the code that's under the property name. And then once you select the property, remember that you have to choose the view. You'll probably have one or maybe two views to choose from, but you still have to click on it. And then that will usually land you home, but we're going to behavior, then site content, and then all pages. This gives us the full list of pages on our site. But what Jan has done is, did you just enter it here? Do you
Oh,
remember,
you're
or
back
was it
on pages,
advanced?
you're not on the articles one. Yeah, it looks a lot like the articles, but you're now on the other report is about pages. So you need to get back onto the articles.
Well, I'm going to try and build it. So there isn't a pre-built articles report, but going
Yeah,
through.
there is. Yeah, go back to the PDF that says articles, not pages.
Right, but I'm looking at analytics, not the PDFs anymore.
Oh, okay. So you can't get to the analytics from me. Okay. All right. Anyway.
Yeah, I won't, I can go to report, but then I think it asks me to sign in, but I wonder, do I have access? Let me try pasting this here. I don't know if I will. Why does it want me to sign in?
Yeah, it's probably access to Google Analytics for, well, maybe you do.
Oh, okay.
Nope.
It's okay. Um, uh, it's totally fine. I will just build it, and then we'll save it, and hopefully
Okay.
it'll look pretty much exactly the same as yours. But so we want to narrow down the pages or the paths here to include only URLs that have the word article. The good thing about MyLO is that any article that you create, the URL is going to include the word article. The same thing happens for events. It's going to include the word event in the URL, positions as well. So I think it's advanced. So include page, or let's see, path. No. So let's try page. So containing article. And it's as easy as that. Just typing in the word. I probably could have gotten away with just typing it into that search field that was there, but that was really easy to use the advanced filters. So now we have narrowed down our list of pages to just the articles. If I come up here, I think the other thing too was that there were segments that were being compared in the report, and that's really easy to do. You can change the main date range and then also what you're comparing it to. But I'll just use the previous month and then the previous period. I unfortunately don't have as much data for May, but that's okay. It's still going to show us the change. And we get to see it broken down per page as well. So then the final step, if we were ready with this, or ready to save this report, we can go ahead and export. Saving it allows you to save it in your Google Analytics dashboard. So let's see, I think I'm gonna just copy the naming convention. So this was popular articles by page views. If I click OK, does it take us to that report? Yeah. So under customization, it will be listed under saved reports. But again, the goal of this is to eventually have all of this data off of your UA property, since the estimated cutoff date is the end of this month, which I would imagine means we probably won't have our UA properties listed anymore once that access is gone. If they are listed, it might just say, error, and it won't show us anything. So saving a report won't get it into your hands past the cutoff date. But if you do save the report, let's see, I guess it gives us the same options as we had before. Yeah, so you can export in 4 different formats, or you can share by email, and then you have 3 different formats to choose from as the attachments. So that is a way to export, save, or share for any of your reports. Let me pop back over. Well, any questions about the articles report?
I have a question.
Yeah.
When you share it, and one of the options is an Excel spreadsheet, would that include the graph, or would that only include the data?
Just the data.
Okay, and then you have to create your own graph in the Excel sheet if that's what you want.
Yeah. You might download or export a PDF and the Excel, because
Okay.
the PDF will definitely have that graph. And I can show you an example. Let's do a Google Sheet. It should be the same kind of layout as an Excel or a CSV. So we get to see the property name, the report name, the date range, or the segments. Yeah, all the data. And then it looks like a date index, which I don't think we actually had on the online report. So that's kind of nice. It breaks it down per day. But this may be powerful in connection with the PDF.
I have a question for Jan. You're entering these articles yourself for your people. I had a question from my board. How many people actually within your league are happy to edit in or add articles or do things on the website? I've trained a couple people, but there's only one that has bought
It
into
really does.
helping.
Oh, you mean to actually put it in on, no, they usually give me a Word document and I cut and paste and put it into the website.
So
So there's only one person that I've trained to, she used to do the president's report. She was the president. And she would do her own typing in MyLO. And then she'd usually have me publish it or, have me check it over and publish it. Or maybe the hard thing is putting a picture on the article because you have to be so careful about copyright. And so I would always do that part. I'd choose a appropriate cut, or she would maybe find one and I'd look at it and try and find something that was
Similar and able to be used.
yeah, right.
But the argument for using MyLO originally was it was a content management system that would be helpful for, a lot of people could use it because it wouldn't just be the cognoscenti. I'm just wondering how successful that was for the rest of you. Have you been able to get your fellow league members to help you and add stuff? Probably not. Okay.
It's a little frustrating and complicated, I think, too much for most people, I think. I mean, I just love it that they're writing the articles.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
Okay, so we can pop back over to the reports. Did you want anyone in particular to discuss, Jan?
Let's talk about this one. This is
Okay.
the one where I'm limiting my counts to, well, what happened to it? Oh,
This
this
is the popular pages by page views.
Okay. I think I was looking at something else. The
Would
one
you-
with the yeah, that one.
This one?
Yeah, okay, so what I'm limiting my my count for page views by is that it must be in the United States. So I filter out all the other junk that's coming from all the other countries. And I'll tell you why. Because I've seen several months where I don't know what's going on, but we got a lot of hits from all over the world, like thousands of hits, and it throws my numbers off and it makes me so upset because it will, the next month will look really, really bad because it looks like we don't have very many page views. So I limit my counts to only the United States, and that's what this is doing.
Okay, great. Yeah, it makes sense that with the nature of our business, that can happen. And so this is one way to filter it out. There's definitely more permanent filters where the filter happens higher up. If you want to just not even collect that kind of data, that's possible. But this is a great way so that if you ever do want to see that full picture, you still can, but then limiting it in this way helps you to see probably your true audience.
And it helps with the comparison month to month mostly because you look so bad the month after something like that happens. It looks like your readership has dropped so badly, and it hasn't really. It's just that, for instance, on
A spike of
one
traffic.
particular day, I got 1,000 hits from all over the world. 1,000 page views. And yeah, that really skews my numbers.
Yeah, so let's go over how we can create that one. It is going to be with the audience and then under geo and location. So as Jan said, it's giving you the full global picture to begin with. But if you want to just narrow it down to the US, then you'll come down to the report and click on that data line. And that will bring us to the same view that we had in that report. Since I already set my comparisons, my date ranges in the previous report, that just saves going forward. So I don't have to, whoops, go in and make that change. I accidentally clicked something here. There we go. And then I think, let me just pop back over to the report. You had clicked on site usage. I don't know if, I guess it's probably going to be similar information that you would get under summary. I don't know if there's a distinct difference there. Yeah, it looks like the same data. I'm going to open this report in our MyLO view here, just so that we can see maybe an actual change. Okay.
Let me ask the group, have you experienced that? Have you seen 1 month go absolutely crazy with page views, or are you even looking at that statistic?
I don't think we're as advanced as you are.
Right.
I think it's wonderful, and we're learning from you. I just haven't spent much time on it.
Go ahead,
Well,
Mary Jo.
this is Mary Jo. I was going to say that we do continue to get the contact the website from the Russians, but I'm going to just ask an ignorant question since I haven't been watching other ones on his analytics. Are you only talking about historical stuff that's going to end pretty soon and wanting to look at that?
Yes, we're talking about that so that in case anybody wants to download those reports.
Yeah, just seems like a lot of work for I don't know what kind of information. Okay, I just want to make sure.
No, yeah, no, you're totally valid, because I think that was a question that Liz has had before, and it kind of left me like, well, I don't know. But I think as you guys have said, I think Jan is helping us to understand what's important about it. And then maybe that'll help you feel like, if you need to actually carry that data forward. It could just be something that you want to look back at one last time and just know it in your heart and mind and say goodbye. Yeah.
But that was actually a point I brought up with Amarise yesterday when I found out that we'd be looking at this. I said, well, I'd really rather spend the time learning the new one and showing that. So I think we're just kind of looking at this and with the idea that I'm going to try and build this in the new one as well. So I have, similar reports.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm real interested in it, because I didn't do the other. And so it's nice to see how, what's important or what historically has been important.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm kind of with Mary Jo. I'm going, who cares?
Exactly. So I think it'll be revisited once we have our more data in the new one. Right now, there's not a whole lot of data there. What's the new one called?
GA4. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So once we get more data populated there and start generating reports there, I'm going to be trying to reproduce similar reports in the GA4. But right now it's impossible. There's just not enough data there.
Yeah. Maddie.
Yeah, I just wanted to confirm that our old data is not being converted to the new.
It is not.
Okay, because I was sort of thinking that it was. So So what you're saying is if we want any of that old information, we need to run off reports and save them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, if Google created your GA4 property for you, the only thing that may be copied over is like if you had filters set up or if you had goals set up, certain things like that will copy over. But the data won't. There is an import option on GA4 properties, but I don't know how well they translate or how compatible the old data is to the new property, if that makes sense.
Okay.
But yeah, you could even, if you were trying to just have like a dump of data, you can make the date range as big as you want, and just download it, as many reports as you're looking to have. As far as an overview report, this may give you a good picture of every other type that's that's within this category. But if you're trying to get a little bit more of a detailed view, then I definitely would pinpoint out which reports you want. But this might suffice. I guess we could just quickly go over the last two. I think we're probably all under this similar mind of you may or may not, may not is probably the heavy one. Come back and download this type of stuff.
You know why people are looking at the LA website from these different states, and it's interesting that Oklahoma and some of these states are big, don't have anybody looking at it. But why? But I mean, maybe they just get it through Google searches and they get to the LA site.
It could be. I don't know why it popped up that way. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. It could be even other league members. Like I wouldn't know exactly the nature of the folks, but it is interesting to see it is not just your city or your state that's checking you out on your site. So that's nice.
I like to look at other leagues' sites to get ideas,
Yeah.
to see how they do things better than I do.
But
Different
yeah.
than you do.
Yeah, if they're posting the same resources, you can totally get ideas that way. I think we went over the period comparison already. Was that? Yes. So, audience overview, kind of similar to what we were looking at. Oh, it definitely is what we were looking at. The audience overview is a quick snapshot of all of the reports contained under the audience category. So that's like geographic, or geolocation, demographics, I think returning. No, I guess yeah, new and returning visitors. There it is. Jan, did you want to say anything about this report?
No, but it's an easy one to pull. It's one of the ones that's in the can, right? And I might limit it to the United States. And you could do that just by clicking on
and
states there and drilling down.
so if you were here on the overview, whoops, let's see. I want to see country. That's where it was. So, so the report that we're just seeing from Jan, she had clicked over to the country because by default it lands you on the language. I think most of us don't need that type of data, but the country there, and then once you click to United States, it takes us to the report that we saw before, where it's based on location. And then the popular pages. I think this one is probably one of the most popular type of reports. Yeah, go ahead, Jen.
So the difference between I made a distinction there between articles, which are only on our website for a limited, maybe a month or two, and pages. Pages are there. A lot of pages are there year round. You know, like maybe your voting information page, or some of your other ones that just stay up about us. You know, that tells you who your board is and so on. So it's not fair to compare pages to articles. Articles is really where I like to look, but pages is interesting too. And you can definitely see spikes in interest. Like for instance, if there's an election coming up, you'll see spikes in some of the,
like on your voting page or.
Yeah, on your voting page, exactly.
Okay. So that, yeah, that is a really, I like how you approach that so that it is not an overlap at all, but you're keeping the pages and the articles report separate. So that would be trying to get my mind around it. I know it's site content. Oh, it's behavior, site content, and then all pages. This is where we'll start. And then in order to, so last time we included any page that contains article, we're going to exclude this time in the same setup. Exclude any page containing article. There we go. And we get to see that difference. Do we have the graph? Yeah, I don't know why I don't have much data there for May. But that is an easy way to filter things out. There's definitely other types of dimensions and metrics, but that's probably the most useful one there.
When did you switch over to GA4?
That we started about a month ago.
That's why you don't have anything in May.
Oh, but this is not GA4. This is the old UA.
Yeah, and it would.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that has something to do with it. Because our tech team was, behind the scenes making the change from UA to GA4 around that time. So I wouldn't be surprised.
yeah. So maybe it stopped collecting altogether.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
the earlier ones that are not there, not the later ones. The blue ones are for June, and
that's showing up fuller numbers. I wonder if it has anything to do with GA4 just being better than UA, and no, I have no clue. I don't know. It's funny, but as everyone has said, we're moving away from UA, so there's not as much need to spend time on that one. I definitely want to get into the GA4 reports.
Maybe it's not being picked up anymore, or it got erased when we went over to G.
Mine did.
Yeah, well, in our case, as far as MyLO as a whole, there is only one spot to put the global site tag or the code, so it would have been replaced. But the fact that it is picking traffic back up back in June is interesting to me. I was going to say that maybe the GA4 property is powerful enough to still even communicate to a UA property, but I don't even know if that's possible. Unless it's connected, because the National League created the GA4 property for the MyLO. So maybe they connected the UA property to the GA4. That actually, I will have to communicate with them. I'm going to make sure that is not the case, just so that we're not going to lose any connection either. Okay, so that
One
is
of the
just
things,
homework for me.
one of the things that people ask is whether people are using phones to access your website or computers. So that's an interesting report. I don't know if Jan's people care.
Yeah, I think it's under users in the
On the
UA.
UA.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can try and pull that up
Yeah.
for the GA4. I think that should be an easy one. We want to see the tech. So I clicked on reports. We're going to click over to tech under users. Let's just start out with overview. I'm pretty sure tech details will be what we want. So we get to see by platform in real time. Here we go. So here's a glimpse, but there is one that is just by device category. So view device categories. I wonder.
Desktop, mobile, tablet, and smart TV on the chart.
Awesome. So we get a chart, same kind of idea, chart, and then the table of data. Let's see, the date ranges. We're going to compare, just kind of setting up what we did earlier. So we'll have two different date ranges. Actually, that's not going to have any data. Preceding period. There we go. That should have data in the compared. That's fine. And then same idea. We can share this. Let's just download a PDF so we can see what that looks like.
It's awfully hard to tell the differences in those colors.
Yeah, I don't know if we have the ability to edit those. But yeah, similar setup where we see our date ranges under the device category and then the percentage of change per category type.
That's important.
What was that?
I said that's a nice report.
Yeah.
No
And
smart TVs.
there's a smart TV each time, so somebody is definitely browsing the web, living large. Let's see, because it does allow here under event count, there's like a drop down. I wonder if we're able to narrow that down before exporting. Okay, gotta drag that over. So let's say, what are we looking at? Device category. Let's say file download. I don't know if that's going to be, okay, we do have some data. So now let me try that again. There we go. Okay, so it did hold on to that, narrowing down. So that's cool. There's a lot that's similar to the previous reporting, and I feel like a little bit more. I mean, definitely with the events, we didn't have that before as detailed. Let's see. Customize report. I think this is where you would save it. Even if you were just trying to save it as is without actually customizing it. Let's see. If I save the changes to the current report, I believe that, I think we tested this last time and I can't remember, but I believe it goes on top of this tech details browser specific report. Or if you save it as a new report, let's just save it as copy. It always takes a second. Oh, why can't we save this?
Colon, maybe?
I need to add a description.
It's the colon after details.
Huh. When I did get into analytics earlier, it was well, I felt like it was acting up. I was trying to travel to different UA properties and it was saying something about a loading error. So I wouldn't be surprised that it could just be not allowing me to do this right now. But let's see. I think I had a saved report before. Let's see if I can just show you where it would land if you do that. So I believe it's in the library. Because once you get to the library, you have your collections, which are these here to the left. They are your what I have been calling report categories. They're the collections, so that they house the other report topics. But we want to go down to reports. Yeah, I had saved this last time, so um, maybe that's why I couldn't save it because I already have it. I have the exact report already multiple times. So I think that's why it was giving me that error. But this is where it would land. So you come to library and down to reports. Let's see what it looks like. I think it's just going to look the same. Is it going to open up for me? I, I think I may have clicked a little too much. Oh, it's loading. Okay. So same idea. It just opened up the report. And huh. I just was trying to see where the options were to sit to share. But I think they would have been in the same spot up in the top right corner. Otherwise, I think you can also do it here. No, you can only delete. Well, you should be able to export or share from the top right corner as usual.
What are your options on the three dots?
It is edit, make a copy, rename, or delete. I wonder if, because edit takes us to that customize report screen, which technically doesn't give us the save option. Let's see what it looks like when I go back. No, it takes me back to the library. So if you are trying to export it, maybe export it first before saving, because it doesn't look like there is an option to export after you've saved a report, unless I'm mistaken. Which isn't a huge deal, but you know, if you have saved a report and then you're trying to come back to it to export, that may not be possible.
Where does it go when you export it?
Wherever you tell it to go. Let's go back to a report. Because I think you have the option still to share by email. So we can share we would just copy the link. So there isn't a share by email option anymore.
If I say download, where does it go?
That goes to my computer. So like I downloaded this one and this is in my files.
Does it go in the download folder or something?
It went in my downloads.
Okay.
But I think that's just because that's where I've designated them to go. But yeah, when you are downloading, it is downloading to your local device.
Okay.
And just to show you the example here, it looks very similar to that Excel one we saw before, but this is just the CSV version. I did not know we had all these many browsers out in the world.
Wow.
Amazon Silk, Opera Mini, Nokia browser, Sea Monkey. A lot of different ones. Okay.
What if you took off if you, can you limit it to the US?
This one, that I don't know because it's talking about the tech details. We might be able to add a filter. Um, let's see, or maybe include country. Yeah, so good question. You can totally just include, or maybe I should exclude everyone else. Let's see what this does. It did change a little, but I have a feeling that this include may still include other countries because it's not excluding, the others. So, but it's definitely possible. So you could just, play around with this. I wonder if region. No, I don't want to do region. But every single other one, I don't feel like doing that for every single one, but let's see what that does. Took our numbers down a little bit. I think it was at like 17,000 and something. So yeah, filters will be your best friend in that case.
I
And you can
don't
add as many as you want.
These colors are just so the blues. Do people see a difference? Oh, now what's happening?
That I'm hovering over the
Oh,
item at the bottom. I think this is only possible in the live view. Like, I don't
right.
think there's any changes to be made. Yeah, I'm clicking on it and it's not like giving me, oh, if you click on it, it turns only those on. So maybe that's what you want to do before exporting. Maybe you highlight the two most popular. Um, let's see what this does. So I have Chrome and Firefox as the only ones lit up. Okay, it does not hold that.
No. But can anybody see the difference in those blues? Is there one that's supposed to be a lighter blue?
Yes, they're slightly different.
They are slightly. I would say the first one is more teal,
Yeah.
but definitely very close to each other.
Yeah.
You might even to add a highlight. That might be doing a little too much, especially if you're sending this digitally. But yeah, if it's super hard to read, that might be a nice way to help out whoever's looking at the report. But unfortunately, there isn't a way to customize that in the report there. Let's see. If I customize, I think this is only allowing me to customize like dimensions and metrics, and the types of charts I see. Yeah.
Yeah, the workaround would be to do a
Right.
screenshot, I think.
Oh, yeah, that is a good recommendation. So if you are trying to look at only some highlighted, just screenshot. That's not bad. Thanks for that, Maddie. What While we're at it, since we're here, let's see if I can also try and find what was one of the other reports? I'm going to see about the popular pages report. I won't do the exclusion of articles, but it should give us a good idea of kind of a similar report. So under engagement this time, we're going to go to pages and screens. So if you were attempting to have a similar report, just like in your case, Jen, if you are trying to, build out articles or the page report, I wonder if the filters would be, I think it would be. So same as we did before, exclude page path. No, because then we have to choose from. This is not what we're looking for. That is one of the biggest differences between the UA and GA4 reporting that makes me a little sad. It is not as easy to narrow down your data, like the results. So filtering and comparisons are really what we have. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything that's going to compare to that report. No. Okay, so unfortunately, that is not going to be a way to narrow down the report. This here, I think, just gives us another dimension. So we would be able to see, the most popular pages and let's say see the device category that they're in as well. There we go. It took a second. So it breaks it down. So like we see 2 and 3 are the same page, but then it's broken down by the device category or broken further down. So that is what we have. I wonder, I don't know if that is going to work as an exclusionary symbol. No.
How about that page path right below the search? What does that give you?
Oops. This is the metric that's listed there.
Hmm.
I think you might be able to still narrow it down to the page, like to make your articles report. I'm going to see what this does. Oh, I changed the page title. Page path, that's what we want to see. Page path and screen class. Definitely don't care to see that one. But that gives us an idea. Looks like it is also pulling in other pages, but that's fine. It's probably, since I'm looking at all of MyLO, it's, pulling in a whole lot more. But we get to see all these pages that are just articles. So that is still possible. Your top articles report can still be made.
Try using /article /.
Good suggestion. And that was it. So in case you are looking to build a similar report, /article /, and then, if you're trying to do it for events, position, same thing, /event / position /. Now let's see. Yeah, I was trying to think of any other way. I don't think the comparison, nope. The filter and comparison are the same. They're giving us the same options. I don't know why they're two different options, or why have comparison and filter when we are given the same options for each. Yeah. I guess the comparison is like a segment.
It's too bad the 404 is so, the second one down is 404. That's bad.
Yeah, that I'm not sure where that's originating from. So that is something for that league to deal with. Were there any questions about the pages report, the pages and screens? Mary Jo?
Yeah, so just a general question. So I'm assuming that you cannot sign up to have these reports just pushed out to you. You
You
always have to
can,
go into it. Oh,
but because it's cutting off soon, I don't know
no, I mean for
how.
the new one.
Oh, for the new one, I don't think they give that option, at least not from what I've seen.
Yeah, it'd be too
In
nice.
right. In the old UA, when I would click share, it would give me that option right then and there. So let's see, maybe no, in the
No,
library there
I
wasn't any
meant
sharing
just
option.
like YouTube, sends out stuff. I meant like that.
Yeah, I don't think there's
Yeah, I don't think so.
any regular sending of reports. That would be really nice.
And we
I
put in a request for that.
Mr. Google.
Yeah, I don't, do
Please,
they
Mr. Google.
we need to
Mr.
call up their
Google.
hotline and tell them.
We'll all do it. And then they'll say, gee, there's a big demand for that.
Yeah, there isn't
It
a
is
way
kind of
to.
interesting when you were showing the platforms that about half the people, well, most people, looks like most people use Chrome.
Mhm.
And then the people that are using Safari I'm assuming are doing it on their phone.
Most likely.
They're
There's,
Right? At least my
yeah,
phone
I think
Safari on it.
Mac has Safari as
Oh,
well.
oh, Mac. Oh, okay, I forgot about Macs.
But
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised that a big majority of those Safari users are probably, iPhone mobile.
Yeah, and that Edge was so such a small amount. I mean, I generally actually keep both open, and I only use Chrome for certain things that I'm doing, just so I can kind of keep straight on what I'm doing. So it's just kind of interesting to me.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you just get to see some data that may not be something you need to share with the rest of your board, but you're just
But
like,
interesting.
uh-huh. Yeah. Jan.
um, yeah, I'm interested in monetizing. I want to know, like for instance, when we get somebody that wants to be a new member, can I? How would I go about monetizing that?
Let me go to a different property where I have that. There we go. I don't know off the top of my head. Whoops.
Or like lunch with the league, and somebody says, reserves a spot, then I could put a money value on that. And it
Okay.
costs so
Yeah.
much to go.
Yeah. Let's see if it's something. My first thought is it's possibly conversions. Um,
Form submit.
change counting method. No. Let's just try it. Oop. New event name. What's wrong? Oh. Okay. Oh, okay. I guess there no spaces allowed. It's just underscore. Um, I don't know if this is what I'm looking for. Let's see if maybe I have to set up that event first. No.
I think you're going to find it under form submit, because it would be a particular form. We would have a form on our.
No,
But
that's just a conversion. So I can only change the counting method. That doesn't allow me to edit anything or like specify. But under events, I might be able to specify when a specific form is submitted.
yeah, that's.
Let's see.
Need an underscore. in the custom event name.
Right. I'm just trying to figure out what needs to be put there, because it has to coincide with your form or whatever you're trying to track. So this means we have to see the HTML side. This is very similar to Google Tag Manager. And if any of you were there during that session of mine, I am not an expert on Google Tag Manager. So let's try it. Disclaimer, it may not work at all, but let's try it. Because the parameter, I close out some of these others. That's the one we're working with. I'm going to close this one out. So the parameter, I believe, should be coming from, well, both the parameter and the value should be coming from the web forms HTML, but I'm not sure exactly what. So let's try, let's see, with a form I have on the demo site. Okay, so I have this one. Let's see if this one might actually be a shorter one. Really doesn't matter. Okay. I'm going to check out the HTML. I am not sure what I'm looking for. Why don't you scroll down? Whoops. Oh. I don't know why this is stuck there. Oh, this is the entire HTML. Okay, I guess. And there isn't a way for me to search. No. There we go. Search. Let's see if I can find web form in here. It probably might be there a few times. No. This is not as easy as I thought it might be. This is the body. Yeah, I'm not sure. This is definitely something I need to do some more testing on, because I would imagine that there has to be some way to do it. I bet there's a way to do it in Google Tag Manager, but since we have events here in GA4, I wouldn't be surprised that it could be possible. But yeah, I won't bore you with the HTML anymore. Just staring at it. I'm almost certain that that can be set up. Yeah, so
Another day.
definitely another day. We need to get into reports and take a deep dive into them. So that we can plan for next time. That's going to be the 28th. So definitely will include the events and conversions if it's necessary, but we'll be talking about reports for sure. Let me just make a note.
Thanks, Jan, for sharing your reports.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you so much, Jan, for that. That was very insightful. Not just your reports, but yeah, just being able to talk about it too. I think that was really beneficial for everybody.
I thought it was beneficial also to see how many articles she has. I don't use articles
Right.
that much. So that's
Yeah,
good. Maybe we
yeah.
should be using, make, having our members write articles. That's very nice.
Yeah, and even just the way that Jan, you said that you cycle them through, like that
Mhm.
might be new to other folks too, that you kind of try and it's purposeful that you try and keep them fresh. So
Yeah.
that's nice. Awesome. Any last questions?
Yeah, Maurice, I have
Yeah,
a question. It's not about this though.
go for it.
It's okay.
Good.
Yeah, I think some people are probably like, yeah, take us away from that.
Yeah, a while back, we talked about, like cleaning up our website so that they would show up better in Google and, unpublishing pages that we didn't want to be found and things like that.
Mhm.
And so I was kind of working on that. And one of the things that I noticed in Google was that, well, there's a couple of things, but the big title, the first thing that you get when you search for League of Women Voters Ventura County, it says Ventura County vertical bar MyLO dash League of Women Voters. And I think you told us we could change that in the meta tags on the homepage if we
Mhm.
wanted to. So I was thinking about doing that. And so for page title, it says, node title and site name,
Uh-huh.
which I guess are the tokens that give us that.
Mhm.
And I was just wondering if I make a change to that, will that impact any like links that people have already made or anything like that? Or will that only change the metadata, not the actual path in any way?
Yeah, good question. It is exactly that. It will not affect the path or anything. It is just what it will be displaying for like Google or any other service or platform that picks up that data, that meta tag data.
Okay, so I can go ahead and change that and it'll look different when it does like uh the
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 search
the te-
results.
yeah, the search results and also the when it's the link, but it's not actually the link, it's the link description,
Hmm.
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But if people save that link, then they should still go to the right place. Is that right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Hmm.
That's what I wanted to make sure. So I can go ahead and change that so it looks like something different.
Yes, yeah, you can have it read whatever you'd like. You could still use tokens if you'd like, but if you just want to get rid of what's there and type it out yourself, that's doable too. I just
Yeah.
wanted to show my example of the demo site.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I have the demo site here as the token. So that was the page title token. I just typed in LWV space before it,
Mm-hmm.
and then removed site name and typed in official site. So you have
Okay.
the freedom to put whatever you'd like there.
Nice. Good. I will do that.
Awesome.
Thank
And
you.
then yeah, for sure. And then since just because we're on it, if I was a real league site here, I probably would want to change this. And if that was your case, you would just change the summary. I'm not logged into
Mhm.
my user account, but that's fine. I'm logged into my admin account. Um, and sorry, let me see.
Yeah, I
My page.
see that it under that meta tags, it's got the page title, it's also got a description, which is defaulting to the node summary, which I guess pulls data off of the page. And then there's an abstract that doesn't have anything in it that I guess we can write something in there if we want to, and all of those and keywords. And those are all things that search engines would be looking for. Because I'm finding that what it's showing in Google is it's highlighting pages that I don't even have in my menu, that
Mhm.
were put there a long time ago. So for some reason there's something on those pages that makes Google care about them, even though I've essentially hidden them on the website, I thought, but not.
If you were looking to have pages on your site that you may not want, like you still want them available publicly, but say you don't want them to actually be crawled and
Mhm.
searchable, that's
Right.
available in the meta tags too. I'm gonna close up the basic tags. I think it's under advanced tags. Yeah,
Ah,
so we could say just don't allow them to follow the
got
links on
it.
the page or to even index it,
Got
but
it.
it would still be, searchable from your own website and folks can find it directly.
Okay, good. Yeah, I mean, theoretically I'm the webmaster, but these are all things that I'm not real familiar with. I know they exist, but I don't know exactly how to work them. So I'm going to work on that.
No worries. That's what we're here for and we gather for. So
Yeah.
just to point out what Maddie was talking about, the description pulls from the summary based on this token. And then as you know, if the summary is empty, then it just pulls from the body. So the reason it's not, or it's showing up, as Washington today, technically that's the beginning of a National Leagues article that I have promoted to my front page. And it makes sense that there's nothing being pulled because I don't have anything in the body. But I can put something in the summary where it won't show up on my homepage, but Google can pull it as their summary. So if this is your case where you want to have something different showing up on Google and then something different showing up on your actual homepage, this is where you can do it.
Yeah, that's great. That's exactly the kind of thing I want to be doing. Look at me. I like that.
So let's see what that gives us. I know it won't be an instant change, but it's something you'll probably have to publish. And then after some time, we should see that update.
Yeah, another thing, I don't know if we have time, but we got a phone call from someone saying that our website says that we're temporarily closed. And what it turned out to be is there's some sort of a map, Google map thing that Google puts together that when people search on us, it's got the search results on the left, but then it's got this box on the right. And we don't have a location, we don't have hours, we don't have any of that stuff. So it says we're temporarily closed. I assume that's because we don't have any hours.
Oh,
I
You
would
know,
I would say suggest edits. I've definitely done that for our state league before when we've moved or yeah, sometimes it shows incorrect information. I think that Oh, okay. That's the only thing. It doesn't allow you to like go beyond what is provided. So maybe that field of it saying temporarily closed, that will allow you to, edit and add on whatever notes. Um, so I would say
yeah.
start there if you haven't already.
Well, what I did was I went on to their community, help community, and I explained our situation. We don't have an address. The location that they don't have a location, but the picture they're showing and the spot on the map is actually where we normally have our board meetings, which is actually in a law school.
They're probably what Google, tries to do is be as smart as it can be, but it's probably
Yeah,
doing a little too much and pulled that from,
exactly.
your events information or whatever. So
Mhm.
yeah, that's a little
Yeah, it's being too
annoying.
too smart for me,
There you go.
And it looks like it's probably associated with Google Maps, which we really, we don't have a location. We have a post office box and we meet wherever.
I wonder,
So
let's see.
I'll see what they send back. So, and
Yeah,
I,
and yeah, try suggesting an edit. I don't know if own this business, if that gives you
yeah, I
other
went there.
options. Okay.
Yeah. So I did suggest an edit. It wasn't any of the things that they were asking about because it all had to do with the map.
I
And I
see.
basically said, we don't have a map. And so we'll see what I get back. I can report back to you guys if you're interested.
Yeah, let
I,
us know
I'm not even seeing that for mine.
when you
I,
search for Ventura County.
no, I
Oh,
mean for my own. I
oh,
was going to see what they had. I'm not seeing that. I've seen it for other things where my name is even somehow associated and it's distressing because it's not correct. But
Yeah.
very hard to get them to fix that. I mean, I think it's kind of automatic. It just goes around and swoops up information and makes these
Right.
yeah.
little,
Once they kind of know that it's an organization or a company, then they're gathering that information and plopping it on the right.
Yeah. So like I said, I did put in a request to their user community. Um, And if you want to see it, if you Google League of Women Voters of Ventura County, you'll be able to see what we're getting.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that is.
and I can
Unfortunate.
add business hours. I can add the website. I can add a phone number. We have no business hours, but we do have those other things. So it could be useful, but yeah,
Yeah, it's given a little too much information where that it's just not applicable. So
exactly.
that's not helpful.
Anne-Marie, do you
Uh-huh.
remember, do you know when you did that discussion about changing how it displays in Google? And changing the meta tags and such?
I don't.
I must have missed that.
But I might be able to, let's see. Let's see if I can try and search for it real quick. If I can't ever remember the specific video, I always come here because I try to add a description to most every office hours recording. Let's see what meta tag gives us. Ooh, it's a couple years old. We haven't changed meta tags. So it could still be, you know,
11/3/2021.
we were talking about keywords. So that's a little bit close, but not exactly. Let's see. Whoops. So we did talk about metadata here. Oh, let's see. Maybe about 6-7 minutes in, it looks like we're still going over metadata and meta tags. There we go. So let me
Okay, I've got
copy
it.
this one.
August 27th, 2021.
Yeah, about 7 minutes in. That's where we're talking about that there.
Thank you.
What is your situation here where you have my workbench content panoply? What is that?
That's my admin bar. I just usually masquerade as like a webmaster, but this time I didn't have the chance to.
Is that part of Drupal or?
Alrighty, folks.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you. I thank you for joining me as usual. And then we'll see each other in a couple of weeks on the 28th, and we'll dive into GA4 reports.
All right. Thank you, guys.